So, you're thinking about an annuity. And if you are, I bet the number one thing on your mind is the bottom line, right? What's the return? It sounds like a simple question, but honestly, the answer is a little more complicated. In the next few minutes, we are going to break it all down, the numbers, the jargon, and really help you figure out your options. Okay, let's dive in.
Let's just get right to it. The big question: what is a good return on an annuity? It's the first thing pretty much everyone asks, and for a really good reason. You need to know that your money is going to work hard for you, especially when we're talking about something as important as retirement.
So here's our game plan. First, we're going to define what a good return even means in this context. Then, we'll walk through the main types of annuities, starting with the safest of the safe and moving up the ladder to the ones with more growth potential. And finally, we'll wrap it all up with a simple guide to help you decide what's right for you.
Okay, first things first. There is no single magic number here. A good return is all about your goals. What are you trying to accomplish? Are you looking for a rock-solid, predictable paycheck every month? Or maybe just safe, steady growth? Or are you aiming for something higher and you're okay with a little risk? It's all about matching the product to your personal financial goals.
To put some real numbers on it, let's look at the landscape for 2025. Right now, you're looking at a pretty wide range. On the super safe end, you could see a return of around 4.75%. On the other side, where you're tied to the market, you could see returns up in the 8% range. So there's a big difference, and it all comes down to risk.
Let's start at the foundation, with the products built for guaranteed and stable returns. If your number one priority is peace of mind, sleeping well at night, knowing exactly what your money is doing, then this is the section you're gonna wanna pay close attention to. For the safest type of growth annuity, which is called a multi-year guarantee annuity, or MYGA for short, you can expect a return somewhere in the 4 to 5% range. And the key word here, the most important word, is guaranteed. This isn't a maybe or a projection, it's locked in, right in your contract.
So, what the heck is a MYGA? Well, the easiest way to think about it is like a certificate of deposit, a CD, that you'd get from a bank, but this one's from an insurance company. It's super straightforward. You lock in a guaranteed rate for a specific number of years, and all that growth is tax-deferred. Simple as that.
So is a MYGA right for you? It's an absolutely fantastic option if you're getting close to retirement and you just want your money to grow safely, predictably, no surprises. But on the flip side, if you're hoping for stock market level returns or you're really worried about beating inflation over the long haul, this probably isn't your best bet.
All right, next up is the Single Premium Immediate Annuity, or SPIA. Now hold on, I know what you're thinking. 1 to 2%? That sounds really low. But this number is what's called an internal rate of return, and it's telling a different story. This product isn't about growing your money. It's about turning a pile of money into a guaranteed paycheck for life.
A SPIA is about as direct as it gets. You give an insurance company a lump sum of your savings, and in exchange, they turn on a tap and start sending you a check right away. And they promise to keep sending it, often for the rest of your life. It's really the purest way to create your own personal pension.
This is a perfect fit if you're already retired and your main goal is creating an income stream you can absolutely, positively count on. It's for when you just need that check to show up every month, no matter what. The trade-off, of course, is that you're handing over your principal in exchange for that incredible lifetime security.
Okay, but what if you want a little more juice than an MYGA can offer, but you're just not ready to ride the stock market roller coaster? Well, that brings us to our next category, the balance approach that gives you a shot at growth, but with a built-in safety net.
Now we're talking about fixed indexed annuities, or FIAs, and you can see the potential average return here jumps up into that 5 to 7% range. So how does it do that? Well, your interest earnings are linked to the performance of a market index, which gives you a shot at much higher returns.
So here's the magic trick behind an FIA. You get the upside potential of a stock market index, like the S&P 500. If the market has a good year, you earn interest. But, and this is the big but, if the market tanks, you're protected. Your account value won't go down because of the market drop. It's a way to get a taste of market growth without the risk to your hard-earned principal.
An FIA is often a great fit for someone, say, in their 50s or older, who wants that nice balance of safety and growth, especially when the market feels a little shaky. You get a chance at better returns without putting your principal on the line. But if you're a hands-on investor who wants total control, this probably isn't for you.
And that brings us to our final category, the one with the highest growth potential.
If you're okay with the natural ups and downs of the market and you're really looking to maximize your returns inside an annuity, well, this is the one for you.
With a variable annuity, or VA, the potential returns can really start to climb, getting into that 6 to 8% range, and sometimes even higher. But, and this is a really important but, these returns are absolutely not guaranteed. They come with direct exposure to market risk.
A variable annuity is, at its core, an investment account wrapped in a layer of insurance. You put your money into what are called sub-accounts, which are basically just mutual funds. This means you are directly in the market, for better and for worse. You get to ride the highs, but you also have to weather the lows.
So who is this for? It's really best for younger investors, or anyone who has a long time until they need to touch this money. You absolutely have to be comfortable with market swings. If you're the kind of person who gets nervous when the market dips, or you're close to retirement, you'll probably want to steer clear of this one.
Whew. Okay, that was a lot of information, I know. So let's pull all these threads together now with a simple guide to help you compare your options side by side and figure out what makes sense for you.
This table really lays it all out. As you scan across from left to right, from the MYGA to the FIA to the VA, you can see a super clear trend. As the potential for higher returns goes up, so does the market risk. With an MYGA, your money is completely safe. With an FIA, it's protected from losses. With a VA, you're all in. That is the fundamental trade-off you have to get comfortable with.
And this chart just gives you a really quick visual of that risk-reward ladder we've been talking about. You've got MYGAs as that safe, steady first step. FIAs are the middle ground, offering that protected growth potential. And then you have VAs at the top, with the highest potential for growth, but also the highest risk. The real question you have to ask yourself is, which step on this ladder feels right for me?
You know, no matter which annuity you lean towards, there are a few pro tips to get the best return possible. Longer terms, think 7 years or more, usually get you better rates. Always shop around and compare quotes. Pay close attention to how they calculate interest, especially with FIAs. And don't pay for extra features, they're called riders, that you don't actually need. Finally, think about working with a fiduciary. That's someone who is legally bound to act in your best interest.
But at the end of the day, here is maybe the most important thing to remember. We've been talking a lot about percentages and returns, but the truly unique, powerful thing an annuity offers is that contractual promise of an income stream that you cannot outlive. That is a kind of peace of mind that's pretty hard to put a price on.
So, as you think about what's next for your retirement, just ask yourself this. Is chasing that extra percentage point of return really worth the risk to your security? Or is the profound comfort that comes from a guaranteed outcome more valuable to you? It's your decision to make, and hopefully this explainer has given you the clarity to make the right one. Thanks for watching.